way back when I first committed myself to becoming an author, um, back in 2014, I said that I was going to give myself 10 years minimum to see if I could basically make it in the industry. That I would not quit, I would not stop on this process for a minimum of 10 years. And now, here in year 9, it's interesting to look back at where I was and certainly where I am now, and to realize that, man, it's really probably going to take 10 years. I'm 9 years in here, basically. Had a couple ups and downs with some small aspects of the publishing industry, and now potentially self-publishing my first novel later this year, at kind of the end of year 9. Potentially some other things coming down the line, but man, it took just about 10 years to get there, and wow, that it's kind of shocking. It's sort of shocking, because even though I gave myself obviously the 10 years of commitment here, I didn't think it was gonna take that long. I figured at most it would be like 5. I figured 5 years I'd have a book that I could finally get an agent for. The first couple years, first 2-3 years maybe, my books are gonna be terrible. But around year 4, I'm gonna start hitting my stride. I'm gonna start really cranking out a good one. Maybe if I put out a book a year, the 4th book in year 4, maybe that won't be the thing. Maybe it just won't connect. But year 5, that's probably when you're at even money, right? That's probably when I have at least better than a coin toss, even, that I'm gonna get picked up. And then by year 10, you've doubled your odds, But boy, I was definitely wrong. Quite happily to have underestimated that, because if I had actually known that it was literally going to be a decade before I saw anything, really anything at all, as far as any kind of actual success, I would have been very nervous, very scared, may not have gone forward. I love doing this thing, like it's like the only thing that really brings me any kind of like actual like joy as far as the hobby goes. So I probably would have still found my way back into this, but man, that would have scared me if I'd actually known how long it was going to take. And I'm not someone that ever underestimates things. Like I usually think things are going to take far longer than they do. This is just happens to be the one area where apparently I did undershoot it, strangely. But yeah. So I guess with that, it's a good thing to keep in mind, the idea of committing to the long haul when you start, to have a game plan of how long you want to do this before you quit as well. At some point in the future, I'll probably have an author's bannering episode where I'll talk more about, with Ian, about, how long should someone do something before they quit, or at what point should you start considering quitting, or, kind of setting a quit date at the start of this thing. But yeah, 10 years, and boy, well into year 9, and it's oh yeah, did not think it was going to take nearly this long, but that's the way the process works. And so I guess with that, I'll sign off right here. But yeah, it takes a while. It takes far longer than you think it's ever going to take, and even then some. So brace yourself and enjoy the process. There's no payoff I could ever get that would be worth 10 years of suffering if I hated every minute of it. I'd be hard pressed to find a figure, like a financial figure, that I could be paid for 10 years of work, hating what I was doing and anguishing over it every single day. Um, it doesn't exist. So enjoy it. Find what you're enjoying about this process, especially if you're a writer. Find what you're enjoying, and take stock in it. Whether it's simply just the quietness of being able to sit at a desk, or the fact you get to maybe clear your head, the fact that maybe it's a distraction from your from every day, all the way down to the craft elements of it, right? The getting a nice jazz from just getting a cool sentence, or from a nice revision on a chapter, and finally having it sound the way you want it to sound. It's those little things you gotta enjoy it, man. So with that, I'm gonna stop here. I will see you all tomorrow.